Michael Myers escaped.
He is a killer, but he will be killed tonight.
Halloween is directed by, I believe, David Gordon Green, and it's written by Danny McBride, and it stars Jamie Lee Curtis back as Laurie Strode, as well as Judy Greer and as her daughter, and then there's like their granddaughter, and it's basically a soft reboot of Halloween. It's like the sequel to the original Halloween and not the sequel to the rebooted Halloween, and not the sequel to the sequel of the rebooted Halloween, nor is it the sequel to the original Halloween. It's an entirely new Halloween sequel, and pretty much every other Halloween movie aside from the first one never happened. Is it a mouthful? Yes, but let me put it like this. It's been 40 years since the events of the first Halloween. Michael Myers has escaped out of the mental institution, and he's gone back to avenge, go after Laurie Strode, and Laurie Strode's gonna go after Michael. That's the plot of the movie. That's all you need to know going in, because quite frankly, Halloween is great. Let's start off with the most important element with Halloween, these scares. The scares and tension building throughout the film is incredibly effective. There's one sequence towards the beginning of the film where they've shown this in the trailer, where they're just showing the mask to Michael Myers. That is an incredibly intense sequence, and it is great. Like, you just feel like something scary is about to happen, but ultimately nothing happens. And that's not much a spoiler. That thing happens in the first 10-15 minutes, and that's just the beginning, and the movie skyrockets from there in the ways that it builds its tension and how it's able to scare the audience. It does an absolutely effective job, and I cannot commend Danny McBride and David Gordon Green enough for their job in writing and directing the movie. Multiple sequences throughout the movie make you just feel helpless as the viewer, trying to protect characters that you either somewhat like, or that you care about them reasonably, and you don't want anything bad to happen to them. So but it's just terrifying seeing Michael Myers sometimes going in long tracking shots, disappearing, reappearing in different places, a camera following over his shoulder. Incredibly effective how the film builds tension through that way, and how it affects the audience in that way. The direction from David Gordon Green is incredibly effective. He emphasizes the use of the tension. The cinematography is beautiful. This movie is marvelously well shot, and I cannot commend the cinematographer enough. I don't know their names, but they did a great job. John Carpenter returns to score the movie, and his score is incredibly good, really effective, and something that the Halloween theme, you just get, it's just a incredibly sick tune. Danny McBride's writing, along with David Gordon Green's writing, it's witty, it's dialogue that comes off as awkwardly funny, and you believe it as characters of them interacting with each other. You see that they have some sort of power dynamic, and it works well. Every character seems to make a rational decision, and that's one thing I also love about this movie, is that there aren't really dumb characters. There may be one dumb character move, and that's about it. The rest seem to have some sort of, motivation for their actions that they do, and it's something that I have to just commend the movie for its writing and building character motivation. Jamie Lee Curtis back as Laurie Strode. Haven't seen the original Halloween, don't know how well she did here, but she is fantastic here. She does a great job. Love to see her in more things. I don't know what else she's been in, because I don't know, I just haven't been watching intense movies that long, or intensely watching movies that long. But she was absolutely fantastic here. I cannot recommend her performance well enough, and Judy Greer does an also really good job too. She's surprisingly front and center, and she gives a surprisingly in-depth performance, which is probably her best performance that I've seen, because most of Judy Greer's performance that I see are like, oh, she's in the movie for 5 minutes. Like, Ant-Man, Jurassic World, Ant-Man and the Wasp. She's out of the movie, off to the side for 5 minutes. She's there to make a fun little appearance, and that's about it. She's got quite the resume, but I've never seen her go anything as in depth as she did here in Halloween. Halloween overall is great, but there is one problem that I have with Halloween. There are several scenes, several plot lines throughout the movie that just don't seem to have either a satisfying conclusion or a conclusion whatsoever. But aside from that, Halloween's great. Great cinematography, great score, great writing, great direction, great acting, and great scares most importantly. So I will say that Halloween, I'd buy it on DVD. Have you seen Halloween? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe, comment on the part of pie, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye. Well done, you made it to the end of the video. Why don't you click on one of these two videos for more content, or subscribe, so just be reminded of when I upload. So subscribe. That'd be great.